I so I can't see the Facebook.
Oh, you can?
No, come and have the other phone.
Oh, okay. Well,
So you got to read.
I,
With
I,
Dr. Diana.
I don't know. I want to
She
know
might
what the heck you are doing out there. What are you doing? What in hot? What the hell kind of hot is that?
this morning I decided to fish for my food. Time's hard.
Fit? Oh,
So
wait there. Lakeside fishing or seaside fishing? Which one?
lakeside fishing.
That is worse than
You see?
riverside fishing.
We know you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're gonna get.
So what kind of fish? What kind of fish you have fish for down there?
I don't know whether they pull up. I think they have catfish. I don't eat catfish.
Mm.
I don't know what else they have. I know like bass.
Bass?
Yeah.
Oh, nobody not eat freshwater bass. Okay?
Oh,
Osh.
I'm sorry about time hard. So you have
So
to
all
do
right.
what you
So
have
so
to
all
do.
right. So how much fish you catch and what size you have?
No fish as yet. No fish
What?
as yet. Not one. I
How
don't know
long you
what's
out
going
there?
on.
How long you out there for?
We come out here from around 8.
8 o'clock this morning?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have about 4 more hours to go
Uh-uh.
before you catch your
Uh-uh.
first fish.
No.
About 4 more hours left.
I lie.
Oh my God. Let me see. I have to go onto Jamaicans.com to see if I've not been able to read. Diana's supposed to be on here too. I don't know where the heck she is. All right, so let me go
Yeah.
to Jamaicans.com and see if I can pull up if anybody's there watching you watch fish. Cause I watch catch you. I don't catch you, I catch fish. I must
Yeah,
watch
watch me, watch everybody.
I watch fish. Okay. So I pulled up. It looks like we are in fact. Hold on there. So let's start cause we don't. All right. All right. So yes, it looks like Jody and Jody. Oh no. Joni de la Plata. She says good morning, Leo and Michelle. Where is Dana? We don't know what Dana might be captured somewhere somehow. But
Mm-hmm.
Michelle is here saying that she is watching fish, not catching fish. If you change the C to a W, you'll get the meaning. Watching,
Eh,
catching, right? Watching.
catching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so she's watching fish, and she hopes to catch one, but she has another. Good morning, Wayne. Mayor Messam, good morning to you. It's good to. I was good to see you last night. By the way, it was a great event.
Oh.
We went out last night in the city of Miramar.
Mm.
We had some politicians from Jamaica came up for the 60th anniversary of Jamaica's independence, and we had Mark Golding, Bunting, Donna Scott Motley.
Monthly.
We had what's the name of the Brown Burke? Brown Burke.
Oh.
Yes, she was there. We had a few persons from Jamaica that was passing through. I think they're on a tour. Their next stop this weekend is going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, and then what else? I think they're going to New York. So they're on a long run. Senator Donna Scott Motley told me that she will go to Atlanta, and then she drops off of the tour, and Lisa Hanna jumps in.
Picks up.
Yes, jumps
Okay.
into the next leg of the tour. It was a great event. I enjoyed listening to everyone inside the MCC last night, and then the party started out the door. Me, I'll get sick because I had one beer and it ripped out my stomach. I mean, completely ripped out my stomach. And then but the music was great, and everybody seemed to have had a lot of fun. A whole heap of green, gold, and black on the outside.
That's
It
good.
was really, really great. So, good morning, Mark Hay. says good morning, folks. VM says good morning to you both. Where is Diana? I'm gonna know who Miss Diana. Nobody know Miss Diana this morning.
I miss her. Where is she? Suppose I tie her up in our house. Where is
Woo!
she?
Lord have mercy. Let me see if we can call her and get Diana Davis Smith on the line because
Yeah.
I am tired of people. When I am missing, nobody now asks about me. No. When I am missing from the show, nobody asks about me. But just because Diana pretty and Michelle pretty, every time they're missing is like, what in there? What in there? You know?
I think
Anyway.
maybe our internet.
No, but she called me this morning and said she was gonna be on, so I don't know if she's gonna. I'm calling. She has two telephone numbers. I'm gonna call the other one and see if she can
Okay.
apologize to these people. Before we start the show this morning, we have a guest this morning at 11:15.
Just give me 10 minutes.
She says, "Leo, give me 10 minutes." You heard her, okay? All right, but oh, that's your son.
Yeah.
You might watch fish too.
Yeah, he tried.
So,
He
so
tried.
show us your line. What the line there? What the line we are use?
Me not use no line. Everybody out
So
there
how you
fish.
fishing?
I don't watch. We might have to clean the fish after. We don't know. I might be too hard to clean the fish.
When you
I don't
came
know.
on this morning, you say you're catching fish. So I want to see the line. Is your son using
Yeah,
a
yo.
line? Eh?
No.
Is your son
They know
using a
that's
line?
how we high. They know that's how we high.
All
But
right.
I'm not really fishing.
All right. What the beer
So
then? What the beer? What the beer? You're supposed to have beer when you have fish.
nothing.
You're supposed to have drinks. Rum and all of them things. What? What the heck?
I don't know the type of fishing. I just watch. If they catch a fish, more than likely me jump up and cheer and say yes, we catch the fish. Nothing more.
Are there many people out there? Can you give us what do you call it?
Well,
View?
okay, let me see.
We want a view. Just go to the left.
Okay.
Okay, so one more person out there fishing, couple people out there fishing.
Yeah, that's it. It's a small pond.
Okay, but
But this is the second one.
okay. No, why you so far?
Me don't want alligator catch me. Yeah. Me don't want the alligator catch me.
Oh my God. We have a young lady coming on at 11:15 this morning. She had a really nice, well, a storied life. I met her some years, I think it's in 2008. She picked up her I think it's an MBA or two,
Okay.
masters, and then she got married, and she had a child. Oh no, she had two. She have two children, and they were preemie babies. And she can
Oh,
tell you, and I hope that when she comes on 11, most of you will be able to hear her and ask her questions and stuff. It's very tough, very tough for her
yeah.
based on the stories that I heard. You know.
Did you know Adrian was a preemie?
No, I did not know that. Oh,
Yeah,
was he?
29 weeks.
Oh, wow.
29 weeks. He stayed for like what 4 weeks in the NICU.
Wow. So hold on, 29 weeks. How much that? 6, 3, 7. So about 8 weeks, 8 weeks.
No, yeah,
I mean 8 months, I meant.
yeah, 7.5. Yeah.
7.5 months. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you had some serious challenges with him after he stayed in the hospital for 3 months, you say?
No man, like 4 weeks, four
Four
weeks a
weeks.
month. Yeah, he
Okay.
only needed to put on weight.
Oh, okay.
So he went. It just that like now he just forceful and want to do his own thing. But I have hypertension. So when you have hypertension, the longer you stay pregnant, like your vitals go all the way up. So
Oh.
I was at the critical stage where they said, well, you have to deliver the baby now. Either you are the baby.
Oh, so they
So
took him. Okay.
yeah, Brittany. Yeah, so that's what happened. And And he do good, as I say. He very
Active,
very
yes.
active, very busy. No issues so far. Like
Okay,
usually they check them like very often to
yes.
see how they're doing. But
Oh,
he's doing well.
okay, okay. And
What you
and
definitely.
and we also know that you have a young lady with you. Tell us about that young lady and her child. Tell us about her.
Oh, I have my dear neighbor Brittany with me.
Hmm.
Come, Brittany, come say hi. Come say hi.
Hi.
Hello,
Smile.
Brittany. Hello,
You're
Brittany.
on camera.
She's
You're on
shy.
Facebook.
She's
Yeah.
shy. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Brittany is my neighbor. So during the COVID, we don't know if it's COVID, but I don't think it's COVID though. Her mom passed
Oh,
last year.
yes.
So I just decided, because my little daughter, I always call her my daughter when I go to Jamaica. You met her.
Yes, I did. How old is
So
she?
yeah.
How old is she?
She's 13 now.
And her mom died last year.
Yeah, when she just passed her exam. Like right before she passed her exam. So she couldn't even tell her that she got into her dream school, which was Westwood.
Okay.
Yeah, but she got in her dream school. She's at top today. She's doing well still, like she have the support
And so you
for
brought her up, you
everybody.
brought her up for this summer?
Yeah, better she stay for the summer than being in Jamaica. What would she do?
Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so she's with me having fun.
That's nice of you. It takes a big heart to do things like that. We're getting a lot of kudos here. Sonia Hazel Michelle is flying fish. Are you watching flying fish? But listen, Sonia, I don't think them are flying fish in a Michelle Lake. Okay, when Michelle told me so she gone fishing this morning, I thought she was on the ocean, some 4 miles out, and she's gonna catch some big red snapper and jack and all them thing there. And she did back her house. um, Davina James says, good morning, everyone. Mark Hay, good morning, folks. Norma Dixon, good morning, Norma. Good morning to you, lovely lady. And man, not men. Backside, don't leave me alone there. Uh, Beautiful Michelle. Michelle, I think, one of the topics that I put on the table this morning was giving back to Jamaica, right? How do you feel persons do you feel the need to give back to Jamaica? And you are actually giving back, which is a good story to start off the topic, because you have taken under your wings a young lady, and it sounds like you want to take her through high school and through college. I think you told me that
Yeah.
you want her to be an attorney also, right?
Yeah, but she changed her mind after she said all the work I'm doing. She said I'm always working, so she want to go into IT, which is fine. She
But
want to.
IT works more than an attorney.
I
They
don't make sense,
constantly 24/7.
yeah, but that's what I said to her. But
Yes, and so she changed her mind. But yeah,
mm,
giving back. What do you think, guys? Tell me about what do you consider giving back to Jamaica? What is giving back to Jamaica? Tell me, and I'll read your comments as we go. What do you call giving back to Jamaica? Not very many persons have a good grasp at what that means. I want to know what it means to you.
give it back.
Yeah.
Okay, giving back to me. I guess a lot of people think you have to be doing this whole shebang of, like donation and have these things. But what I usually do is, I'm from Falmouth. I always pick up Falmouth, but I always like my neighbors, like with the children, and they see like they need help. I could help. I don't have a lot of money, but I could find like doing, like back to school. I'll say what you need, like they tell me I could help with the tuition or buy uniforms or whatever. I do my little within my community. Or, like you see, like sometimes like they'll ask, like, like the church will ask for anything. If I can assist, I assist because I see where it's going. So I don't have to have big fundraising. I just take whatever little I have and I give back because it's still helping the broader community. That's how I see it. Like I know on one project we saw where the retirement home in Falmouth, they needed a recreational area for the residents to have. So we just did a little thing where we just collected, a television, like with the games and brought it to provide to them to help. It's little, but to them it's major. So you
Yeah.
don't have to do this big thing. You can find just one child in the community that need help just because sometimes they just need a little help to get to go to school.
Mhm.
And if you're helping them to go to school, that is good. Sometimes you have people that go down and they help. Like I have friends that will help doing tutoring. It's not like money, but it's tutoring to assist children. And then
Yeah.
in some instances too, like even with children like need guidance or mentorship, sometimes they'll call to see what college or what option should they come to the US or Jamaica to do school. Like I guide, they give like little guidance because like it's helping with the brain drain, but you're not discouraging them from leaving. But if they have that option to stay where they could get scholarship or whatever and stay in Jamaica and do their studies, of course I guide them. So it's the little things you do. It doesn't have to be a major thing, but any little thing helps your community and the
Uh,
greater Jamaica.
so Marcia agrees with you. If she only knew how much work you'll have to put in IT attorney when we get to our client job done. That's IT is quite demanding, says Dr. Joni, resident IT professional. Every little
We have
bit
not
counts
passed
and
one
makes a
thing.
difference. Sonia says, totally agree with you, Michelle, what it means to give back. Let me tell you about giving back. Most people, like Michelle said, think that they have to go out and raise this money and they have to find a project and give and send the money to this project or send the money to, I mean, to me, giving back comes in a whole heap of different form. If you take one child and decide, oh, by the way, the what you call them again, when the people ever come back from and come back to them host name again. The prodigal has returned. The prodigal has returned. Hi.
Sorry, but I seem to be having some feedback. Are you hearing a feedback?
No,
Uh,
I'm not.
we're just happy to have you. So feedback or no feedback, we are happy to have you. So you and Michelle joined the cap crew this morning. Michelle is um quatching fish, quatching quatching fish. Because I'm not so sure if she's catching or watching, so it must be quatching fish.
Michelle gone fishing.
Yeah, you
Yes.
never tell her no fishing. Me
You
say
go, girl.
quatching.
And you go fishing. That is such a fabulous thing to do. So you're on the
Uh,
lake, or you're just on
yeah.
the outskirts of the lake.
We're
Our
in a
topic,
pond.
our topic this morning is giving back to Jamaica. Here's Garvan. Garvan says giving back to country is like helping to grow the economy, like opening business to reduce the poverty. One cocoa full basket. One
One,
one.
one,
It's
one,
one
one.
one. And one cocoa, Garvan, one cocoa can full basket. I don't care what size the basket is. Okay?
And what
Even
a hell of a cocoa that would have to take. All of the cocoa them
one one.
together. Oh my
Um,
gosh.
VM says I usually buy books, pencils, and reading books for my school close to me when I'm in Jamaica. Gail Cousin says, good morning, folks. Garvan says a typo. We know that.
Let's continue.
Paulette says,
Fabulous.
I think many Jamaicans giving back to their families and friends. I give back to friends and they share with others. However, it needs to be done in a sustainable way where it can continue. Hold on, she have more. It says, see more. Continue for years to come. Yeah,
Are
and
you
I
reading
agree.
from YouTube or are you reading from Facebook and
I'm
YouTube?
reading from Facebook. I am not on YouTube yet. There are certain people who are supposed to be on YouTube and Facebook this morning. One come late and one catching fish.
Well, Michelle, I just so love your outfit. Let me tell you, if nothing else, girlfriend, if you don't even catch no fish, you're fine.
I'm telling you. I'm telling
She
you.
said she said 1 hour better already and she not catch no fish yet. So
Nothing.
let me tell her I said
That's so
4 more
early.
hour. Four more hour before she gets one.
So Leo, you can go to YouTube and I'll stay on Facebook.
All right. Catching fish requires rum, beer, any kind of alcohol, wine, all of that stuff. Michelle now have not even coffee, right?
Michelle, you're gonna have to go up the game a little bit. You at least walk with a little white out to invigorate them.
You have to jump the fish them.
True.
You have to jump the fish them.
They'll probably lock her up for drunkenness.
Sean Chambers said, "Good morning, Uncle Leo, and hope you are doing. Big up yourself." He says, "Good morning, Sean. It's good to have you on a Saturday morning." So we're talking, Sean, about giving back to Jamaica. What does that mean to you? What does that really truly mean? In my estimation, any kind of help. Like I drove down St. Mary the other day, and I stopped back to, me and my coconut, dry coconut, right? And I stopped to buy a dry coconut, stand up there and eat the dry coconut and talk to the Rasta man. And I noticed that he had a little boy. Somebody said, "Am I going to school?" He said, "No." I said, "Okay, we can do something. Let's fix that." So I've been in touch with them because he was sending the child to Otrius school, some private school in Otrius. So I said, let's fix that. Let's see how we can fix that, because your child needs to be in school. It's the only way we can prevent crime later
Why
on.
was he not sending the child to school?
No money. He don't even have light at the place, electricity to
You know, need no electricity to send. A whole heap of us grew up without all of those dressings, but just with a strong conviction by our parents that education is really the way to go forward. But once you ask people how they're giving back, there might be people who don't want to give back to Jamaica, who perhaps have been frustrated by their efforts to give back and it not going the right places. So I'd want to hear some of those experiences. People who perhaps are frustrated by their efforts to give back, and people who have simply said, "I am not giving back because I don't feel any sense of any need to do that."
And I've heard a lot of those. I've heard the people who have given up. I've been in this space for a long time, and I've seen people come into the space and they leave because they're frustrated. They're frustrated because they're trying to bring things through the airport, and it's just not happening. They're frustrated because some people are frustrated for the wrong reason. They're frustrated because they want notoriety, right? And the notoriety never come or not come quick enough, and so they just get. But the whole idea about giving back has to come from deep down inside of you. It's almost like a DNA kind of a deal,
I don't know. Sometimes it's just a sense of duty. It's not something deep down, but probably something that your mother does say you need to give back, and out of a duty you just give back. But I don't know that you need to have it differs for different people. Yes, for you have that deep down in the belly bottom burning urge to give back. Some people give back because your mom or your aunt say, you need to do something for Jamaica, and out of a duty, you just.
That's why I said DNA. That's why I said DNA. I mean,
not necessarily theirs.
Yeah, I personally think, like with me, it's just something innate in me to help people. So I help. But I do have friends who have been frustrated based on what happened to them in Jamaica. They said, no, they'll not help Jamaica. But despite whatever negative, I always need to help, because you can't blame. Like, to me, I prefer helping children, because at least you can help them to guide them for a better Jamaica. I'm not going to help somebody, an adult, who can work and do something that just sitting. If I tell you, you could go here to get a job, because I usually will talk to anybody I know hiring in Jamaica and say, oh, this person wants to work. If they don't show up to the work, I know they don't want to work. So I will not help you. But like the children, you help. But people get frustrated. Also, I've had foundations who try to get products into Jamaica to assist. And because of all the red tape, like stuff will stay on the wall, it take years. So people do get frustrated. But there are also avenues that people are not aware of that could help people to get things into Jamaica if they're donating them, especially for school.
You just have to find. There's a standard
education
format.
trust.
Yeah, the National Education Trust, for education.
Yeah. And they gladly, you just have to tell them what the product is, how much you think it's worth, and that's it. You walk with it straight through. the document through the airport and you collect the things. But like people don't know about these things. But that's why you need to be in contact with your the consulate, or the representative or the diaspora who knows and can assist. So you have to reach out to these individuals to assist, not just try to do it on your own.
But Michelle, I really concur there. But you don't have to have money to give back to Jamaica.
Mm.
You have skills that you can give back.
All right,
You
before you
have,
get into that, Leo, let me just read some of the comments on Facebook because it's my duty. Not so sure where we stop, but Paulette says, I need some help as well. Mark A says, but I get it. Find something small to do and you that you can afford. You don't have to send requests for brand name gifts and toys.
Yeah.
Norman Dixon says, I give back to my mom. I take care of her. Norman says, my family and friends. Paulette
no,
says,
that's good.
but I need help to myself. Marty says, some people get frustrated with frivolous requests. And Gail Cousin says, that's true. The ones that need it doesn't get it because others take the stuff and they don't really need it. So much dishonesty. Paulette says there are people who don't even help their families for whatever reasons. Gavin is here. He says the balance is what creates the demotivation for me. It really makes me feel that I would build elsewhere truly, but my patriotism makes me always consider ways to improve the walk of life. And Gavin says, hi, Dr. Diana. Hi, Gavin.
That's why I say it has to come from deep down, because I know people who actually turned away from Jamaica and went and go to Africa because they got discouraged about helping Jamaica. And they spend a lot of their time and their efforts in Africa. So the deep down having to do with your care and your love for Jamaica, no matter what the situation is. That's the deep down right there, I'm saying. I know, for example, I was reading an article a couple of days ago with Gates. What's his name? Something another Gates, right?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, who decided that I make no more money, right? Mm-hmm. He wants to spend the rest of his time and his life and his efforts in building Africa and the people in Africa, right? And that's cool. That's nice. But you don't have to be a Bill Gates to give back. You could have your skill. You are a mechanic, right? You can actually find a way how to reach other mechanics in Jamaica or aspiring mechanics in Jamaica and say, you know what, I want to share these skills on how to work on a Toyota motor car or a Fiat.
Or electric.
Yes. Yes, electric vehicles that's coming out now. Yes. Or if you're a contractor and you want to help people to understand the codes and what, there's so much opportunities that you can share and become and help people to build themselves. That's called capacity building. It's an underestimated opportunities, an underestimated fact of life that we seem not to want to. We think that every time we think about it, we have to raise money, and we don't have to do that.
Joni says, giving back for notary is not truly giving back to specific organizations as well as Peak Hire, which helps immigrant students get their foot and guide them from high school to, yes, and I find that interesting because she's speaking about how to help Jamaicans while you're overseas, which is cool. So guide them from high school to college, universities, and the endeavors. These STEM students include Jamaicans, so that is good, and I like that, and I'd love to talk a little bit more about that, Jody. How do we facilitate Jamaican students when they get overseas?
That's another kind of good. That's another giving back because you're helping them to sustain their programs.
Their transition and the adoption into a new sphere, into new ways of doing things. I mean, people who leave Jamaica in the heart of winter to go land into snow and all of that. How you transition? Do we have a Jamaican reception team that if I migrate, I can look up this group and they will put me up like a little shelter, Jamaica shelter? Does anything like that exist?
No shelter, but There are.
It exists. It exists because I know from our community, like people will assist people. Like you could stay with them for a while,
Yeah.
and they help you to
But
get
you
into
she
the
said
system.
shelter, but see, homes. You can stay with other people at home, but I don't
Yeah.
you can shelter. But then
Is it a formalized setting that you know about it, or it's just you happen to know somebody kind of thing?
yeah,
How
I think
I know
structured it is?
somebody kind of thing. Cause usually from our community, if you're traveling, you link up who you know from the community, and they say you could stay with me for a while.
Okay.
mute there for me, Michelle. But let me say this for a minute. Some people think that helping persons who come to school in America or England or whatever, and they don't go back to Jamaica, that's a disservice. But it's not a disservice. The stronger we are in the diaspora, is the better we're able to help our country. So if somebody comes and they come on what do you call it, scholarship, and they didn't return to Jamaica, trust me, they're bettering themselves. And when they better themselves, we hope that down the line that this person will make Jamaica proud in what they do, serve as a model, or they can find ways how to develop another person that they know in Jamaica. It's a great win-win situation. So don't be
Yeah.
afraid of helping persons.
Jacqueline Rose says, "Good morning. When I visit, I give back." Paulette Chambers says, "My parents instilled in us to help others. You don't need to have a lot of money to help. Many people are distrustful of people in Jamaica." I see this issue of trust coming up quite a lot, Leo.
Yeah.
Marcia Brown says, "It is really, really talk. Yes, it's very good work you are doing." Oh, is it is really, really, oh, really real talk. Oh, you have to understand how
Oh,
to
I have
read.
a
Michelle
story.
couldn't read this, you know.
Yeah. I have a
Michelle,
story to give you about trust. I remember one time this person told me that they didn't have, like they wanted a little room, so they wanted board, to help with the room. So I said, all right, to be sure, I don't want him to spend the money. Let me go with him to the hardware store to purchase everything. Kind of really trust Jamaican. Go to the store, purchase everything, got the receipt. But I said to him, hold the receipt. So if anything, you don't have to return or anything. You know what the boy did?
return it.
Return everything and take the money. That was 9 years ago, and he can't look in at my face up till now.
And
But
he
that's just
probably
a
still
common.
asleep under Colbert.
Exactly, and that's the problem why some people don't trust. That's why I don't give cash. I will prefer to buy, but I don't give cash because these people set bad examples. So it's kind of like with the trust issue, you don't really trust to just give money.
That's unfortunate too, because let me read some more notes. Paulette says that, and Marcia Brown says, yes, it's really, really real talk. Yes, it's very good work you are doing. God bless. You all listen to Proverbs all say is one cocoa full basket, cannot wait. And anyway, I really haven't. Marcia, type this over because I'm struggling. Gail Cousin says, I usually like to help an individual who really needs help. I really don't have much, but what I do is experience in life. So giving some advices, and if I have clothes and food that they can eat, because without food, they cannot function. Michael says, sorry for being late, folks. CMS
Listen.
Club says, Michael Tomlinson is late. My club says, help my friend's son to university and he's now finished. He's now an accountant. Woohoo. Joni says, lots of times there is so much they need to adopt. Speak Higher continues. Joni, you're affiliated with Speak Higher. Speak Higher continues to foster students via virtual platforms and in person, further expanding our reach globally. Champions, mentors, facilitators are all outside of the US. I can share the link. Thank you so much for sharing the link, and I'll click on it. Galvan says Rasta is working to take over the economy, and if that happens, Jamaica is in trouble. Trust me.
Well, I was about to say, and I'm glad that she brought up the virtual thing. One time we didn't have any way of connecting with Jamaicans directly, right? Other than you have to spend international phone call, and nobody American or call Jamaica with the kind of international rates there, right? And nobody in England. But now we have Zoom, we have Zoom and we have WhatsApp. And you can find somebody in Jamaica who you can mentor, if you can give advice, who you can spend 3 hours over a 3 week time, and help them to do. You can help them with homework, and that's giving back. Giving back don't mean just money. It means that you can find a student. Here is Diana Davis Smith, who runs a college in Jamaica, a college in Jamaica, and has a whole heap of sixth form students who need help bad. And so, me sure said Diana can set up a way in which she can put some people on Zoom and you can go ahead and help them to design a path, a roadmap for their success, design a way in which they can prepare for exam, because sometimes students do very well in class, but when it comes to exam, then just can't make it. And so we can help. So Diana is here, and she can help you to give back in a sustainable way.
All right, fair enough, Reverend Dr. Man. Mascot Mar says, good morning, all. Mascot says, your mascot said, Michelle, you at the beach. You're too stylish for me.
Yes. So that the backyard at the lake beach.
She at the beach. She says she fishing, but I don't see one fishing rod from her come on here.
It's quatching.
Don't see no worm pick up and put on no rod. I don't see none.
Quatching fish.
No. We might have to clean the fish after.
You can see my run from the fish. When the fish come out of the water, it can get up and run.
Anybody ever go crab bush? Talk about get up and run. Have you ever gone to crab bush in Jamaica?
Me, I have a cut on my finger. It's still swell up. From I was about 15. Me push my hand down in one crab hole and then grab a hand on it.
Must it be food?
Yeah, man, and cut it good. Back in the day, you just allow some crab to just grab your hand and you pull them out because them in a hole in the back of my house. That is, You can't just catch them a walk. You know so them done it. You put your hand down there and you all grab out 3. Because them grab on one another.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Me do
But you talk about run. We go crab bush the first time we go crab bush in our nice outfit and with gloves and with ray bag, and the first crab we see everybody run the other way.
crab bush is back lamp business. I don't know if you got crab bush by the night done.
Had flashlights.
But listen,
Let's
come
say you still have that
on with this phone here, because I mean, I know where I come with a flashlight. Nobody now got crab bush with flashlight. That is ridiculous. When you're done with crab bush at night time, your nose black up. Inside your nose black up with soot.
Mm-mm.
Even I know that.
Exactly.
I know that.
You use a lamp? You use
they
Buckle
use
lamp.
one bottle. Yeah, one
Buckle lamp.
bottle scene.
Buckle lamp. What you call it? What?
torch.
Anyway, me not about to pay no mind.
And
Buckle
I
lamp.
use crocus bag. And I use a
Crocus
crocus
bag.
bag.
Yes. And you know what are they?
Michelle?
Yeah, Michelle, as somebody tell Michelle.
No. As somebody tell me. I don't know.
if you got crab bush, right? We don't even know it's a crab a dopey. Alright, crab is really a dopey animal, you know. You
I said that. Where you get them a foolishness?
not ask him, I tell you.
Crab is a dopey.
Alright. You remember the crab man where he lose the whole of a crab a few months ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Come and show how am I raising crab them.
Right, alright. So, me got crab bush already. Catch crab, put in a pail. You know what the white pail them, the 4-gallon pail, right?
Yeah.
And cover it and put rock on top of it. And the next morning come no crab in it. And on the rock still up on top of the thing and then gone. Alright?
Some of your neighbor teethy.
And I want the people have them the kind of experience. I know no thief.
Joni
Just
says,
listen.
stop it. Joni says, I wanted to do that, Leo. Got frustrated and was invited to a part of Speaker. She wanted to give back to Jamaicans. Mascot said, okay, Miss Dan. And Paulette says, someone I know was filing for her brother. His daughter said that she would handle the paperwork. My friend kept sending money to the daughter. It turned out that the daughter was stringing her along and taking her money. The brother is still in Jamaica. Some people don't want to come and work. They prefer to call and harass their relatives for money. And that's perhaps true. Paula Chambers says no. I don't know, no to what. Mascot says, me can get dinner, Michelle, when you catch the red snapper.
Red what? Red what?
Mascot, you better go down at the nearest supermarket. Go buy your snapper. Chantal's corner. Chantal is back. Morning, please. No, we're not promoting no academy because you came here and you said you wanted help for mentoring and you have not been back. So when you're ready to have a serious conversation. Chantal said, is Michelle in Jamaica? No, she's not. Paul Michelle is funny. Leo, it's called Bottle Torch. Lord. Paulette assures you that the crab them just simply crawl out. Is there anybody on YouTube, Leo?
Yeah, no, you know what? Sean hasn't said anything since then. But I don't crawl up that dopey them, then gone, where them gone? But crab either stupid or them smart. One of the two.
But then just outsmart you. Outside who's stupid.
but you know, Diana loves dirty crab, not dopey, not PPY, but TTY. Diana loves dirty crab. What do you call them, Diana? Tell them.
Call them crab from Hero Circle.
No, that's not true. What do you call them? What do you call them? The true.
I call them crab from Hero Circle.
So people, there are two sets of crabs in Jamaica. Three. Them have the sea crab and like a bluish greenish one. They don't grow big, little bit both so, but they make good soup. And then they have the pimento crab, which is a brown back, yellow back crab. Okay, and them live close to the sea. Them wash out themselves all the time. But there are some big old white crab who live in a dirty places, right? And it looked like for them meat sweet because at the most crab was selling at the island. Then the white one there. But them eat all kind of stuff, nigga, really scavengers. And then I love them. She don't want to eat the clean crab at all. You may not get all that the story there. Okay?
You know what crab full of? You
Me not answer the question there. Me not answer
Look, why do they say
crab?
I'm not in here for no zoology, biology, no. I'm not here for you hear me telling anybody what the fish pond them, the pond fish them have. I don't tell nobody. No.
Power to you.
No, there is if I stop eating those crabs, look at the impact it's going to have. There's an entire ecosystem upon my consumption. So if I fail to buy or no longer patronize the vendor of crabs, where is the income going to come from? You have to consider the ecosystem.
Oh my God.
Socially responsible.
Go on the North Coast, go buy a crab. That's what you need to do.
And I must take up my car, drive from where we live, go all the way over the North Coast, go find two overpriced or perhaps imported crabs when I know I am consuming local. I know it has been produced locally.
But hold on there. I can't believe me hear all of this kind of story from Diana. That don't make no sense at all to me. That she is actually finding reasons why she should eat white DUTTY crab.
Those crabs are the nicest crab. When they season them and boil them up nice, perfect. So as soon as you get into Jamaica, you swing around by Hero Circle.
Go eat.
And you buy.
Go eat corn.
Boiled corn, roast corn, and they serve it with coconut pieces that have been soaked in salt water. And to top it off, you buy a half a dozen crabs, you take and you set up your newspaper and you call over your friend and you give your friend one and you eat the other 5.
But have you seen what Michelle has been doing in the past 10 minutes? Just not
Running the
talking.
car.
You know what? I'm nothing to do with the crab conversation. That's what Michelle is doing.
But Michelle,
crab. If I
Michelle gone. You know, sister Michelle shit now but a fish no more.
Oh yeah, it was no fish at all. We get no fish.
Oh, it's not biting. Paulette said, Paulette Chambers says, oh, Joy Kane says, hello folks from Joy in London. Hi Joy, good to have you here. How's your day been? Because it must be warming up a little bit for you. Or soon night, you must be in your bed. Paulette says, I never ate crab until I moved to the US, and how deprived you must have felt. Joy Kane says, my crab story is every Saturday night, the brown back. Yes, love
Brown back. Brown back crab. Pimento crab, that's what she call it.
Look
Not
here, any crab of them have done this and that me eat. Me not like the soft crab them where you pick them and it's so soft.
No man, them are sea crab. Them are sea crab.
Me like crab where you have to take a buckle, a beer buckle. So whilst you're drinking the beer,
And the empty one.
nice.
I don't think Michelle know them kind of experience it.
Michelle.
You're not supposed to eat crab. It's a sin.
Michelle don't eat pork.
Says, see, I have given you all these things unto you and eat. And how can you simply label something that I have made dirty? And I subscribe to that portion where he chastised the nation for condemning what he had created. And I subscribe.
Michelle no eat crab. She no eat pork. She no eat swims. She no eat lobster.
Well, see, all them things I share me. She not eat shrimps.
I eat a little shrimp though. I eat a little shrimp.
Pork and she not eat crab. Michelle.
Part of Michelle's life gone.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Never mind. That is her religious conviction and she grew up with it and it works for her. My religious conviction has no such things within it. Mascot says, say come butter, come fat. I don't know.
What?
Mascot, how will you get that? Say it properly. Me not understand. Mascot said Michelle is a 7-day Adventist. Yes, she practice. Sandra said, hello, my beautiful. And it looks so casual today. Where's Michelle going? Church? No, she go fishing.
Quick, no!
Yes, we also super casual.
She is catching fish. Watching fish.
Watching fish. Watching fish. Michelle is out. Michelle is having a leisurely day today, and that's
somebody actually asked her if she watch flying fish.
And Michelle you have on that jumper. We can't tell the last, and I love them. You see, is a short.
I'm telling you, yeah, the shorts one. I always have one.
Nice. Joy Kane, me never had to pay a penny for those crabs in my childhood.
That's exactly right. You just catch.
When you come from England, Joy.
You just get buckle lamp. You just get buckle lamp, right?
Then there's one across her doorway and she just grab him too.
Actually, which one? I must send me where she come from. Joy, I send me where she come from because her uncle sent me a crab run cross your veranda.
No, crab run cross people a lot in Trelawney, don't you, Michelle? When I used to
No.
Yeah, man, we have a lot of crabs. Yeah, we have
Trelawney eat white crab, white because then swampy. I be a swampland them have it on Trelawney. So not that they know ocean, but ocean they far from Trelawney.
No, it's not far. With a rabbit between
You're never good with maths nor geography.
Our pimento crabs, when them spawn, right? Them go down to the ocean. This is my experience as I've watched them.
Right, I'm here. Just give me 2 minutes, but go ahead.
The big crab when them spawn, them grass sea go wash off, and then they come back with a little picnic in the bush. So the picnic them walk, follow the crab like a turtle. You know, the turtle come on the land to have the egg and then hatch the baby them, right? And then the baby and the turtle walk back into the ocean. The crab go the ocean, go wash off, and then walk back on land with him picking them, and enough of them dead. Because them have to cross road most times. so yes, Me like if me have to eat crab, me I eat the pimento, brown pimento crab, not the white one them. The one them we die and eat and love to eat. I'm the one there. Full. Somebody a text me. Let me see. You know, we started out talking about philanthropy and volunteerism, and one just carry me off, gone pan crab and all this thing. I mean, I understand why is it that we gone all the way pan crab and we're talking about philanthropy. You have your message, your thing, Michelle, so we can take some messages. Hold on, let me see. Some discussion. Good morning to you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me see who chat to it. Jamaicans.com. All right. Scroll. And there you go. So, we have a lot. Mascot say yes, when people eat crab back home, them hit the back of the crab and say, come butter, come fat. Jamaican, you guys. Oh, that's true. Come, because yes, the back of the crab have a whole heap of fat on it. Michelle, VM says, Michelle, you know the Bible says you are not to wear two different fabrics. As what the Bible says, I have never had
Good one.
so. Oh my God, I can't believe you're not supposed to wear two different fabrics. Michael Tomlinson says, used to hunt crab along the seaside in Trelawney. All right, Michael, you are trying
No, true.
to bring her back.
True.
Dr. Jones says, never mind, Michelle. Relatable. I know someone who have never eaten meat. I have found awesome foods and dishes that are delicious. Okay, great. Mark says, Leo is an expert on washing detergents. Detergent crab geography. At the ocean is. Sandra Sterling and Carlin Madden says they're watching. Joy Kane says, Spanish Town, we have a place called Crab Island where my young uncle used to go and collect bags of crabs. You have to collect crabs in bags or else they get missing. Okay? If they don't go in a crocus bag, because they can't crawl in a crocus bag, you know. Somehow them foot get caught up in the little mesh in the crocus bag so they can't move. But when they go in a peel and pan and there's something there, no matter how smooth the peel and pan are, they find one little hole where they can go in and creep out. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. I'm supposed to say a duppy. But in a crocus bag, they can't move because they have a little hair upon them foot. When they push it in the crocus bag, they get stuck. They can't move. Sandra says, Millennium Crab, I was raised with them. They are my siblings. Them live in a yard.
That's on YouTube?
No, that's on Facebook. You said it in our yard. Oh, it's like Sandra have a goat when named Betty. So she can't eat the goat because the goat are the pet. It's the same with the crab. Okay.
Mom send her go to school and then when she come back, she see Betty a cook.
Ball.
Did you read Mascot who says that when people eat the crab back home, they would hit the back of the crab and say, come butter, come fat?
Yeah. What?
Really?
Yeah, the crab has a lot of fat in the back, you know. It have some mushy stuff when nobody will eat. And then they had a lot of fat. And I guess that's what he's talking about. But Mar Scott, you can help. Mar, you can help us understand what you mean by come butter, come fat. but I remember how we used to eat crab out of the shell, the back of the shell. We clean out the back of the shell. Because crab with curry, now crab with curry sauce is the best thing in it. So you put the curry sauce inside the back of the crab.
Hold on, crab eye topic for today. What we are going on?
Ooh, because getting crabby.
Crab and banana.
No, but going back to the curry crab though, how they would do a lot of it in Clarendon and they serve it with roti is that they would wash the crab properly, they chop it up and they curry it as is. So let me tell you, it absorbs all of the flavor and the juices from the curry.
The curry does. The curry does.
Crab.
Yes,
That
yes,
is fabulous crab, man. And had
yes.
the friend
But
Delia Timal when she did that. Fabulous,
add,
man.
add, add, add some coconut milk to that curry sauce.
Yes.
Fantabulous, eh?
Yeah,
Um,
man.
and, and
Fabulous.
and boil it down like what do you call it? What the thing name? Stamp no no stamp and go. Rundown. Like rundown.
How do you
Angela
mix up stamp
Angela
and go
Shepherd
and run
says,
down?
eh?
How do you mix up stamp and go and run down? How do you make
And
it like
I made a mistake. Somebody called rundown something else, and I was trying to catch the other country name, but it's not Stamp and Go. Stamp and Go are flitters. Angela Shepherd says, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We have some other stuff on. Joni says, no traction in the bag. There goes the saying, crabs in a barrel." So, all right. So let me tell you about the crab in a barrel story, because most people don't understand what it means. Crab in a barrel, right? So I made a comment earlier that crab either they have no sense or they're very smart, right? Crab in a barrel implies when me put my crab them in my bucket and put the thing on top, the stone on top of the cover. Crabs have a way of taking the finest point of their feet
no,
and
it's not them hand.
on their hand and put it
Oh, you know, it's not them feet.
on their feet, your backside, and then put it in any crevice, right? And grab it, and they can pull themselves up. Well, here's what: when they find that little crevice, anyone finds the crevice first, the other ones hang on to them because they don't want that first one to come out before them. So they
And
grab
they don't
on.
want to be left behind.
They don't want to eat whatever. But the person, the one that come up second, gets out of the pan before the first one, you know. So this crab in a barrel, the crab in a barrel is the idea that crabs are crawling on top of each other to get to whatever the goal is that they're trying to get to.
But the truth is, though, it's quite logical because if you're at the bottom of a pit and there are 6 of you, the man at the bottom, the last man to join the chain, really should be the first man to get out.
Absolutely.
Because you need to allow him to.
So that's why I'm saying smart.
Over. So they're very smart. I don't know why people connote it to be
crab in a barrel.
bad thing.
Right.
They manage to get out, then they're being very productive.
And that's why you don't see none of them left in the bucket in
Exactly, precisely.
I damn dopey crab them.
Sandra said people used to come from all over the island to hunt for crabs where I lived in Greenwood. My mom had me try it. Mom
Yes.
tried it once and she did not like it.
Yes.
Michelle, you know, easy. Somebody was saying that. Michelle, Mascot says, Michelle, you know, easy. Here, tell them me gone. Sandra is coming out of the house. We had to hop and skip over them because they were everywhere in the yard. Gavin says, run down and boil dumplings. I hope it's cornmeal dumpling though. Joy Kane say, why this thing keep moving? Yes, Leo, my crab expert. Jody says, my mom says it's not feet or hands, it's toes. Let's move to us. Yes, mom, we stand corrected. Is that big-head Leo? Him don't know. No, thank you very much. I was trying to tell him toes. Thanks, Jody, mom, for listening and for being there and hearing us and helping us, guiding us too. Mark A says, crabs in barrels smarter than us humans on times, yes. Gail Cousin says, Leo, that's true. My grandmother always say that some people are like crabs in a barrel. Joni says the crabs pull each other up. Yep.
Yeah.
Barnes. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sabbath. Watching on YouTube, but on my big screen TV.
Can you imagine us on big screen TV? And Diane look good, Michelle look good, and they have all
fabulous. Michelle, make us redefine that.
Okay.
Michelle look fabulous. Leo is just here.
Yeah.
And we're all wearing caps today, which is so unusual. And
I think it's because Michelle not comb her ear this morning and Diana comb her ear this morning. That's what it is.
Bad mind.
None
Bye
of
bye.
them.
So the never talk about so much to talk about. The game start in the US and we're missing it.
Oh my God.
The Jamaican had a mixed 4x4 and we come in fifth. Two boy never get no visa. How can you have athletes and them don't get the visa? So them get the visa yesterday and them gone.
Well, one have COVID.
And one have COVID.
Yes.
Oh dear. And the Jamaican, did you talk about the fact that the Jamaican women qualify for World Cup 2023 and we are going? Michelle, we are going to the women's
Yeah.
football. It's gonna be in
Finally.
Australia.
Michelle, when you say women's football, Michelle thinks American football you talk about. You have
We are talking good football,
What
throw
a
ball, kick, run down
football
boy,
or
kick ball.
soccer.
Soccer. So we're going to the Jamaica qualified for the Women's World Cup competition for 2023. Congratulations to the women, and I think we should go.
I want to say good morning to Angela Shepherd and my favorite woman, Miss Babs, Aunt Babs. Morning to you,
Angela
Aunt Babs.
Shepherd.
She's up on the show every week, the music
Don't
show.
say nothing.
But she's here now.
Shepherd, show yourself. Show yourself.
She's on YouTube. She says good morning, Leo. And
Leo, good morning, Leo. So we what?
and she said and the ladies too.
Here.
Actually,
Diana not on it.
she says hello, ladies and gentlemen. That's what she said.
She said good morning, Leo. Then when we cussed out, she said good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
No. I mean, read it bad. Me just say I try to become, to be a little cute.
You are trying to advance yourself.
Yes. Something like that.
Patricia Barnes says, you all look fabulous. Thank you. Joy Kane says,
They hear no comb, Patricia.
Patricia, my hair comb. You see my hair right back here. I went on the road and I never came back in time to titivate. Anybody know that word titivate?
You mind what you're saying on the show, okay?
Yeah, man. I know that word. Titivate up.
Yes, I was a titivate. Everything that was all like a word. Oh, she a titivate. Oh, she a titivate for. Patricia Barnes says, yes, you all look fabulous. Joy Kane says, our crab was dumped in our oil drum outside in the yard. And there's so much crab you get, Joy. Ooh, oil drum is a big drum, you know.
They can't come up, they can't come out anyway. No matter how high the drum is. They come out anyway.
I like that productivity.
Hey, Lorna is online, you know. Joy Kane said, Mark says US visa application process slow.
Sandra says, Leo, so we are chopped liver. Only Angie gets special treatment, kissing her teeth. Have you seen that kiss teeth emoji?
No.
There's a kiss teeth emoji. Sandy, have you seen it? Paulette says, yes, Dr. D. Good morning, Leo, Dan, Farmer Lorna Hamilton Blackwood is in the house. Good morning, Leo, Dana, and Michelle. Looking good, ladies. I think the word is titibate. No, it's titivate. I never hear no titibate.
Jamaica, she talk about. Jamaica, she talk about.
Lorna, look at titivate.
But you have to. You guys have to be careful what you're saying on the show because this titty thing now work good.
Now work out for you. Yeah. So Sandra says, thank you very much, Sandy. I love Sandy said, Leo, come your hair either. That's how you wearing cap. Ooh, this is really good though. I like how casual we are this morning about things, despite the fact that there's so many serious things happening. There's a police officer who was found dead during the course of this week. It is said that he was suicidal. I don't know. I haven't seen anything else about that. There's too much happening. The People's National Party is on a tour of the US, meeting and greeting with the diaspora members. They're currently in Florida, and they will be going over to Atlanta, New York, and Washington as well. What else happening? Anything
they leave this morning.
Boris is still over there at 10 Downing Street.
Who is?
Boris.
Oh, no, they're leaving this morning to Atlanta.
Oh, they leave today for
Yeah,
Atlanta.
I
Oh,
covered that earlier, but I mean, I was telling most of who were online this morning that we had a very good time at that street dance. It's not a typical street dance. The name block off the street or anything, but it was a street dance with good music. You know, I say yeah.
I'm coconut man, coconut and boiled corn and
Not
peanut
telling man,
man.
that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't a typical thing,
We
but the
could have
music
one
was
of
good.
those with the whistling peanut man.
Yes,
Yeah,
nuts, nuts, nuts.
that's
And
it.
then throw the nut over there so in our bag. And the little, something.
Paper
We
bag.
used to, no. What we used to get was like a spliff. The peanut was in a spliff type bag. A big spliff. Anybody remember
In
that?
a brown bag. Yes,
Brown,
a
a
brown
brown
one, right?
spliff. A brown
Yeah.
spliff bag, yeah.
Oh, those are the ones that were already cracked and shelled out. And it comes in
Yeah.
a like tube, a cylindrical looking thing. And
It's not cylindrical. It looked like a weed.
it looked like a cone. It looked like a long cone.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's what you call a spliff. A spliff
Not
nut.
a spliff. A spliff is a small thing.
Where you get that from? You ever see really what a spliff look like? The reason they call it spliff is because it big so. Okay? And it because it's spliff, the big so. You talk. The little thing where they make like a
Yes, they make a spliff with a whistle or
and,
something.
and you just bad with Whistler. Yeah. We never have Whistler when we grow up. Whistler just come a couple of years ago.
Well, thank God.
Spliff on a big
Drunk
thing.
as skunk when you smoke them.
Exactly. It looked like the peanut bag look about it's about 9 inches.
I know the peanut bag and it's a shelled out peanut.
That's the size of a real spliff.
Nobody can smoke anything like that.
How where you talk, say, Diana? How where you talk,
Well,
say?
that's how much mad people about the place. Yeah, but let me say, Sandra says no, she has not seen the emoji. I won't send it for you. Lorna says we say titibate in Manchester. Brush up on the language. Jude says good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I know the word titivate. Thank you, Jude. Mascot says Michelle quiet today and serious. Is she okay? She gone fishing. She changed her mind. I think she's on her way home.
I'm good, yeah.
She's trying to manage her passenger.
Exactly. Too much noise in the background.
So she minimized her audio from time to time. So we're happy that she's here nonetheless. Sonia Hazer says, Diana, can you elaborate on the Saudi Arabians' visit to Jamaica? Well, I hear the Saudis people came and they met with some organizations. I haven't seen very much in the newspaper about it, Sonia. So unfortunately, I can't. I don't have no company in our organization that they visited, though sometimes I wish they would come build me 2 buildings or donate some equipment. D Brown say yes and twist at the top. So it's
Yeah.
Jude Brown say, Lord, Leo, Micah, wake up my neighbors. I want one of them too. Leo, the bag look like a big cigar. Sonia says, I heard that Saudi Arabian reps visited Jamaica to do business. Not sure if this is true. Yes, there was a group of them that came for true. There was a picture in the newspaper somewhere. I don't know the organizations that they met with. What was the industries? If there were specific industries that they were looking at, I'm not aware. Education wasn't one of them, I can tell you for sure. Oh gosh. Leo Brown paper bag. Gene Wignall laughing at you. Professor Leo, listen to the man. It's true. Sandra says, titivate Leo. The one T after the L and there's no Y in it. You're too bad. Exactly. Thank you. Mascot says, Leo, do it again so he know how it looks, Miss Dan. Oh, Leo, do it already so he knows. Yes, he do it already. Okay. Yeah.
You're just getting that. Oh.
I'm just getting Leo do
It was slow.
it. You're probably still drunk on it now. Johnny says, flat bottom brown bag full of peanuts in the shell from my memory. Yes, that's
that bag that she's talking about is a bag that has the whole peanut. But I'm talking about
the shell, and then you have
the shell peanut. Yeah. The red peanut.
Yeah.
Yeah. and
So my phone strap drop off here right, so then suppose it chop, flat bottom, and then the man would say nutsy, cracky nuts, cracky nuts,
notes,
cracky
notes,
cracky
notes, notes. Yes, here is Tanisha. Good morning, Tanisha. Remember, I said that someone is gonna join us.
Morning.
Hi Tanisha, welcome.
Hi, good morning. Good
Tanisha, is
morning.
Clarendon you come from? Tell me where you come from.
Clarendon, no. Born and bred.
Where?
Mobe, born and bred.
All right, you're in the wrong place. Go on and find the other show.
Yeah, sorry.
Good morning, Tanisha.
Morning.
Welcome.
Thank
Tell us
you.
about yourself. Tell us. You grew up in Montego Bay. You're born and raised in Mobile. Which school you went? Mount Alverna.
Yes.
Ooh.
The other day there was a meme that was circulating of a view from Mount Alvernia overlooking the beach, all the beaches on Bottom Road and where they have the new Harmony Garden. And I posted it and I said, this was my view for French class for 10th and 11th grade at Mount Alvernia. And people are like, and you live here because?
Because you're out of age and can't go to school.
So yeah, I grew up in Montego Bay, born. Chana Watson delivered me and half of the people my age in Montego Bay. So stayed there until I was 19.
Oh, sorry, not to cut you. He delivered me too.
There you go.
His name, who was that?
Dr. Chana Watson.
Oh, Chana, yes.
Yeah.
She delivered my second child, yes.
Yeah. So
Upper, what place is the name again?
Cornwall.
yeah.
No.
Hope.
Brandon Hill.
Brandon Hill, yeah.
Yes.
Yep, that's where I come from.
All right. Hold on a little bit, Tanisha. Let me just clear out these comments so everything will be within the context. Johnny says, that's it, Dr. Dan. I couldn't remember what the peanut man yelled. Nuts, cracky nuts. Sonia Hazel says, did I hear right earlier? Leo said his finger is still swollen since he was 15 years old.
Yeah, yes.
You know, Sonia, how he exaggerate his.
Yes, he did the same way.
Joy Kane said, what fun was it that from the ground to the fire outside was my peanut story. Oh, so she grew her own and then she patched it.
Oh, so she uses, she was the manufacturer who sell the peanut man them the peanut.
No, from the ground to the fire. So she probably was roasting her own peanut.
Oh, she roast her own. All right.
You probably have never had such experiences. Tanisha, have you ever roasted peanuts or cashew?
Oh no, poor thing. She not understanding the kind of work.
I have memories of my grandmother making cocoa though.
What is cocoa?
Being outside, yeah.
You mean cocoa tea? You mean cocoa tea?
Yes.
Oh, that could you say?
Yes, with the mata. Yes.
Okay, when you say cocoa, it actually sounds like the starch where we put in a soup. We think of that yet.
Oh no.
You have to say cocoa tea.
Cocoa, yes.
Cocoa tea.
Yes.
Okay.
Chocolate tea.
Chocolate tea.
All right.
One more. Patricia Bond says, good morning, Tanisha Carr. You are from my mom's hometown and she's celebrating you. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so Tanisha, which part of that actually? Alabama?
North Carolina. I live just outside Fort Bragg, which is the largest military installation in the world by population in the world, and I'm not military. So I'm just here. Yeah.
Shauna Samuels Clark says hi, T.
Hi, Shauna.
Oh, you Shakal. Oh.
Yes, that's one of my sisters.
And then she rude, don't even recognize anybody else. Oh, she says hi, T.
I love those kind of sisters. Yes. Is my sister me there for
yes, that's my tribe. Yeah, that's my tribe.
Oh my God! So we know you have a storied life, and I met you way back some what, 20,
Don't,
about 14 years,
don't.
12, 14 years ago, right?
Yeah,
And but I haven't seen you in a long time and ran into you recently again, and it's really nice to have you. And I know
it
that
is.
we want to hear. I was very intrigued by the story you told me, and I told you to stop. Tell me upon the show. I was very intrigued about the fact that you have a twin that was a preemie
Yes,
more like a preemie, right?
yes, they were micro
Tell us
preemies.
about that. Tell us about
Hold
that.
on, hold on. So Tanisha has a set of twin.
I have a set of twins. Yes,
Okay. How old
and
are they now?
they are now 8.
Okay, tell us about that.
And so
Wow.
they just turned 8, and it is a year of celebration for us because they were born with an 8% chance of survival, and now they're 8
18?
years old. 8.
8. Oh.
8% chance of survival, less than 10.
Eight with no zero following it.
Oh, shit.
Less
8.
than 10.
That's,
Yes. So they were a pound and a half at birth, which made them about the size of my palm, literally. And the first time that I held them, the doctor, when we were going to do skin to skin, they just told me, pull your t-shirt forward. And then they just tucked them in like a little kangaroo inside my shirt. That's how small they were. And now they're 8 years old. And it has been a journey, a roller coaster. But it started.
but before you go any further, did you know that you were carrying a twin?
By book up.
Book up.
Yes, by book up. So before I had them, I had 3 miscarriages. And the third, 3 back-to-back miscarriages. And it was always between 8 and 10 weeks. Basically, my body sees a fetus as some kind of infection. It's like, this is some foreign creature that is trying to kill us. We need to get rid of it. And so after the third one, I had massive hemorrhaging and almost bled to death and had to do emergency surgery and all that. And then the doctor said, look, if you really want to have kids, you have 3 months to do it. You have to deliver a baby within a year. So that gave us 3 months to get pregnant. No, we'd been married at that point for 2.5 years. So, no pressure. Let's get this going. So I didn't really have time to grieve everything that I had gone through because it was literally now or never. So I got pregnant, and 6 weeks after I got pregnant, I was in a car accident. They took me to the hospital, did the ultrasound, and said, okay, baby has a heartbeat, baby is fine. Then, baby, yes. Okay. Baby has a heartbeat, baby is fine. Then a few weeks later, went in for my regular scheduled appointment. And this time, my ex-husband, well, he was my husband at the time, he came with me. And just as a joke, when they did it, because this time they were just, using the sonograph, so they didn't do the whole shebang. So they detected the heartbeat was strong. And just as a joke, because this youth was a massive igler, and he's like, you sure there's only one? And the radiologist said, well, how many you order? And he said, well, I ordered 2. And so just to humor him, she decided to take another look. And so they're just, poking around, and they found a second heartbeat. And they knew that it wasn't an echo of the first because it was beating at a different pace. So there were 2 distinct heartbeats. And the lady, I open up and she's like, hold on a minute. And she went to get my doctor because I was already high risk because of the multiple miscarriages, and twins by themselves are high risk. And so no, I am like, we need to figure out exactly what we're going to do with you. And so they immediately referred me to to somebody a specialist that was going to work with me very closely. So they were monitoring me from 8 weeks. And the first milestone was to get to 12 weeks. Like, okay, if we get to 12 weeks and we still have 2, then we can start planning how we're going to get you all the way. Got to 12 weeks, still had 2. They did some additional checks to make sure there was only 2, because I'm like, look, I was planning for 1 and now we have 2. You're sure there's only 2? And so they checked and said, yes, there's only 2. So now we're thinking about baby names, and I had 1 boy name and 1 girl name picked out. And somebody said, well, what if you have 2 girls? I said, well, them go name Asha and Axa. So what if you have 2 boys? Then go name Asha and Axa. That's it. I'm not doing the get 6 baby book and all of that, not doing that. So found out that I was having 1 boy and 1 girl. So I was very, very happy. But then at 16 weeks, I started having contractions. Because remember what I said, my body thinks there's something in us that's trying to kill us. We need to get rid of it. And so I started having contractions. And they're like, oh, no, it's Braxton Hicks. You're fine. I'm like, I think a little bit too early for Braxton Hicks, but okay. I can't hear you, Leo. Sorry.
No, 16 weeks is 4 months.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You lie.
So, yes.
Who tell you?
So they put me on medication though, just to be safe. And they had me scale back on my activities. At 20 weeks, I was at a conference. And okay, so side note, I'm a pastor. And so if you hear me get real spiritual, that would be why. Because I don't believe in coincidence.
Let me just catch up on some comments. Paulette says, good morning, Tanisha. Gavin says, God bless you, Tanisha. Gavin also says that he doesn't know how to make cocoa tea, so we'll have to go give him a lesson. Sandra says, good morning, Tanisha. Welcome. We have a lot in common. My sisters went to Mount Alvernia, and my aunts and cousins' last name is Kerr. Tanisha, to God be the glory, Sandra says.
Amen. Yes. So normally when I go to conferences, because I was pastoring at the time, and everybody gets their own room. But for some reason, this time, they decided that they were going to bunk us up. So I ended up being put in a room with a much older lady, with a grandmother. And I don't think that was by chance, because this lady, she had 7 or 8 kids herself, plus a whole ton of grandkids. Like, she's been through it. So
she know the mother in business.
Yes, man. She know everything about everything. So I'm in the room the first day, and I wake up and I feel gassy, and I just feel tight, just pressure. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna skip the morning session, drink some tea. Cause you know tea good for everything. So drink some tea, and then later on we go down. The feeling never passed. So lunchtime, drink some soup, and still the feeling never passed. So before I go to bed the night, I drink some more tea, and I just couldn't sleep.
Why is a real Jamaican girl? Because everything is just and a better ginger tea. Ginger tea for everything.
Burp it off.
Better.
And so 1 o'clock in the morning, the little old lady woke up and saw me doubled over in the bed. I was on my knees in the bed. And she said, "You sure you're all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just need, if I can just burp a good burp, I think I'll be okay. It's just pressure built up." And she was like, "Okay, no problem. We're going to carry you to the hospital." And she went and woke another lady, and they took me to the hospital. They took me in to the ER She asked me a couple of questions and said, yeah, let's get you over to labor and delivery. And remember, I am only 20 weeks at this point.
How many months is that, Leo?
That's
So
5
That's
months.
5 months. That's 5 months. 5 months.
That's
5
5
months.
months.
You can count. Come on, about your business.
Yeah,
5
well,
months.
Jean Wignall say you beat your chest and count your fingers.
Yes. So they took me over to labor and delivery, and they put me on medication to stabilize me because I was in full-blown labor and I was already dilating. So like the baby was ready to come, and I'm like, okay, if you don't need to put me in a coma, hang me upside down by my ankle, I don't care. Whatever I need to do to make sure the baby them reach, do it. So at that point, they said, okay, you need to not do anything until the babies are here, which means lie down and basically I watch Kung Fu Panda every day because I couldn't do nothing.
How long did you stay in the hospital before?
I was like that for 5 weeks. 5 weeks, during which
From the night you went into labor, you spent another month in the hospital?
No, they released me after a few days. Once they stabilized me, they gave me medication to suppress the contractions and then sent me home and said, don't do anything. Okay. Don't do anything that will engage my core. Okay. So no twisting, which includes sweeping, because you have to move to sweep. Can't empty the dishwasher because that requires you to bend over. Basically, lie down in bed, get up, go to the restroom, and go back to bed. That was it. Mm-hmm. So mommy, of course, dropped everything and said, I'll come in. A week before mommy came, I went to the bathroom and I saw something weird. And so I called a friend of mine who is he's an OB. And I said, I don't know what this is. I went online and Googled it, and
Google Dr. Man.
And I don't think I should be seeing what I'm seeing. And he said, go to the hospital right now. I was like, but I'm not feeling any pain and I'm not having any contractions. I'm on my medication. And he said, go to the hospital right now. Went to the hospital, and when they hooked me up to the machine, I was again in full-blown labor. Now, this is with me on the medication that is supposed to suppress the contractions. Yes. Oh, my body was determined.
Pause a little bit for me. Joan says, I understand your testimony. She has a similar blood group. Tanisha, you are a strong woman, says Gail. God bless you, Gail. We love our teas when we're talking about the ginger tea. Mascots, Lee says, yes, Leo, what them take you for? You know your thing. So, Tanisha, tell me at the point at which now you are going to really deliver. How many months were you at this stage?
At this stage, this is it. So at 24 weeks is the age of viability. That is the earliest point at which a fetus can survive on its own. Mm-hmm. And at that point, they can put you in the incubator, and with medicines and whatever, they can get you to term.
So we want to back up before you even reach that. At this point in time, when you're still seeing your doctor, were they advising you of the estimated weight of the fetus? Were they monitoring that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they were monitoring everything. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I was going in every week. And when I got to 24 weeks, they're like, okay, we need to start speeding up the development of the fetus. So they started giving me medication to prepare the fetus, because they're like, in the event that you don't make it to term, we want them to have the best chance possible. So they started me on medication to protect the baby's brain, to develop their lungs, and things like that. But the whole time, they were all very positive. It's going to be fine. You're going to be okay. So went to the hospital again, and I'm in hospital now for a week and a half, and stabilized me again, and they're sending me home. So tomorrow I'm going home. My mother got there that night from Jamaica, came and visited and said, okay, I'll see you in the morning when they discharge you. And at 4 o'clock, I woke up because my bed was wet. 4 a.m. I woke up because my bed was wet. And I called the nurse and I told her, I said, please tell me that I peed myself. I said, please, please, please tell me that I peed myself. And I started crying. I was like, please, I'm begging you, just tell me that I peed myself. And she examined me and you can tell even when they don't say anything because her shoulders drop and she sighed. And she said, I'm sorry, sweetheart, but the babies are ready.
Water broke.
And I was bawling buckets. And they're like, okay, well, let's see if we can reach your perinatologist to come in and she can tell us what to do. Because even at that stage, they have different procedures that they can do to keep the baby in. So it was another, this was just God, because my perinatologist that night, she couldn't sleep and she was just fidgety. And so she got up and went outside to smoke a cigarette. And when she was outside smoking the cigarette was when the call came in about me. And she's like, well, I'm already up, so coming. And so she came in and said, unfortunately, no, because my son had already started descending. So they had to.
Makes it sound like a plane of land.
Right. Yes, my son was breached. So went in to do the emergency C-section and they took both of them. And the first miracle was they were 26 weeks and 2 days, 1.5 pounds each. And when they took them, they both cried at birth.
Yes, and that is always a good sign. But let me I want to skip a whole lot of things because I want to ask you this. When you saw your babies, a 1.5 pound baby, you never want ball?
One ball? A pure ball, my ball. I felt like I had failed them because I had one job. And my one job was to get them to term. That's it. Lie down, on your back, and keep yourself quiet, bring the babies to term. That was it. And I had not done that. And so I felt guilty and stressed out because I don't know what to do. And they come out looking like two fuzzy little alien with some long stringy hand and just, their skin wasn't fully developed. So it was almost translucent. You know, you can.
Yes, it's almost like you could just see through them and see the.
Yeah, you can see everything. Like, it was really scary.
Did you for a fleeting moment, and you don't have to answer this, but for me, I think that in that moment, I would really want to question why God make me have this trouble. But I think that perhaps as a pastor, as somebody really in church and grounded in your faith, you probably was just saying, God, give me the strength. How did you find the strength?
You know, I ended up writing a book about this and it changed the trajectory of my ministry. Because I got asked that question a lot by the members of my church. And so at the time, I was pastoring a 550 member church in Central California. And they would always ask me that. And they're like, Pastor, you look like you're all right. And I'm like, no, man, good makeup. That's what it is. You're not seeing everything that's going on underneath all of this. But it was the thing that kept me encouraged was realizing all of the coincidences that happened, like all the things that had to be aligned at that particular time in that particular place. when I had the kids. So where I lived at the time in Fresno, California, they had 3 level 3 NICUs, which a level 3 NICU is the most advanced level of intensive care, neonatal care. And we had multiple. I just so happened
Well,
to.
I don't forget that you don't live in Jamaica. Yes, go on.
Yes, no, I live in North Carolina now, but at the time I was living in Fresno, California, and the hospital where that they sent me to, the perinatologist, she was a research doctor as well. And so she had advanced knowledge, more than your average perinatologist. She knew about a lot of cutting edge things. And
just behind the research.
Yes. And one of the nurses gave me a book. I called it my NICU Bible. It was like this thick and she said, you need to know everything that's in this because you're going to be dealing with this. And so everybody knew us. And there was a doctor that was there who, he wasn't the doctor that was assigned to the twins. But the first weekend that they were on the ward, he was subbing, and he just fell in love with my daughter. I don't know why, but he requested to have them. And he was determined that the two of them were going to go home.
Tanisha,
because that was a thing.
Tanisha, I am now concerned about the growth of the children. How did you make it through with these kids? Obviously, they were in the hospital for a while, and then how has your life been since then?
All right, and before you respond, let me just catch up on the messages. Paulette says only but God. Carlin says we serve a miracle working God. Sandra says, Tanisha, God knew your purpose and your heart and gave you reason, testimony to overcome. Mascot says, glory be to God. He is an amazing God. You have me going into a spiritual mood right now. Jesus, you're worthy to be praised, Mascot says.
Amen.
Jim, we're going to say, whoa, God is awesome. And Sandy says, amen to that. God is awesome.
So, yeah, during that time, they were in the NICU for 3 months. I shaved my head during that time because I had locks that were down below my shoulder blades, but nobody didn't have time to go retighten locks and all of that. My daughter did 4 surgical procedures while she was in hospital. The first one, she was 2 weeks old. She wasn't even 2 pounds yet. And her intestines ruptured, and then she had a hole in her heart that caused her to stop growing altogether. So yeah, it was a lot. And there was a social worker that met with us, and she told us at the very, very beginning, she said, the babies have an 8% chance of surviving this. But we're going to do everything that we can to help. However, your marriage has a 70% chance of ending by the time this is all done.
What does that have to do with the marriage?
Because it just going to break down relationships and the stress and all of that, and man can't manage them something there.
Yes, it's a lot of
Brown
stress.
says, amen, sister, can relate in some ways, having a preemie myself. Lorna says, tell your story, my dear. We cannot mess with God's people. Miracles still happen. My niece had a 1 pound 3 ounce baby. They named him Jeremiah. The boy is now 4 years old.
Hallelujah. Amen. One of the things that I wrestled with for a while after the kids got better was meeting other mothers who had babies bigger than mine, or who were born older than mine, because mine were 26 weeks and their babies didn't make it. And not only did my babies make it, but both of them did.
So you're saying that you struggled with that anticipation, how you relate to somebody who lost a child,
It's a survivor's guilt.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Who
a survivor's
stood a
guilt that
better
they talk
chance of,
about. Yes,
of
their
surviving
baby
than
stood a
yours?
better chance, and
Yes.
their baby didn't make it.
Well,
And
all
for
your
me, it
sisters
was,
online here and the one and two brothers who daring to come and says that, but for the will of God.
yeah. There was a whole heap of prayer. I tell you that I had a friend who was in South Africa who her church was praying and they couldn't get there to anoint the babies, and so they anointed her as proxy for the babies. But there were people all around the world that were praying for them. And for me, it was literally just one foot in front of the other, and we finished this obstacle, and then is another surgery or another treatment. And when they got home after 3 months, what that means is there isn't anything that they can do for them at the hospital that you can't do at home. It doesn't mean that they're okay.
Yes.
It just means everything that we can do here, you can do there.
You can do it.
Yeah. And
Did your marriage last with I mean you made a comment
at
about
this point, at this point we were still okay. See, they were 3 months early, and during that time we went through, we had 4 surgical procedures, 3 months in NICU, 2 years in quarantine. There were 2 full years that we couldn't be around other people, and we had to do the whole thing that everybody's doing now with COVID: come in, wash up, before you can interact with the babies. We had to do all of that for 2 years, with supplements and specialists and all of that to keep them alive. They had so many doctor's appointments, and by the end of it, I remember the day and we had to move because California's air quality is terrible. I love Cali, but Cali would have killed my babies because they had premature lungs, so we couldn't stay there. So we had to move somewhere that had trees and rain. And so we just pick a dot on the East Coast and move. And by the time we got through all of that, I remember going to the pediatrician, and she was looking through their history and looking at them, and she's so disappointed. She's like, I missed everything. And she told me, she said, they're fine. She said they're okay. They had caught up.
Fine.
Yeah, in terms of size, they were normal size and weight. It had taken my daughter a full year to get on a normal growth curve because she was so tiny. She was only at 2% of the curve, but she was on the curve, and that's all we cared about. She on the curve. She hang on.
The positive outlook, and she on the curve. So no
She
matter
on
where
the curve.
she's on the curve. But tell me now, how, and they're 8. So these babies who had an 8% chance of survival, celebrating 8 years, what is that going to look like? And I want to know, because I'm tempted to ask for a ticket. What is it like?
My children are hyperactive and smart, and they are so endearing and loving. They're amazing, and they have no complications, no lingering effects of their prematurity. Like, you'd never know. The only thing is them you put them next to another child their age, and you're like, how old you say your kids were?
Yeah.
I'm like, don't mind that.
Don't worry, I have that problem still.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go down that rat hole.
But hold that thought. Let me just take a few more comments. Just want to say, amen, sister, she can relate to that. Yes. Sandy says you're a woman of strength and beauty. God has had your back, sister, always. Mark Hayes says it's a powerful story. Gail Cousin says your babies are fighters wanting to live. They're going to be awesome children, and they already are based on what you're telling us. Joni says, what an amazing story. God's blessings all around. I'm astounded by your composure. I would be crying with joy, she says, but she'll just a ball and throughout the whole retelling. Beautiful and powerful testimony. And we thought that everybody wanted to hear this. It is indeed a beautiful and powerful testimony, as Joni says. Mark says, how was the financial impact of all this medical care?
Ooh.
Mark, we get into that. That is another story.
Yes.
Mascot says, it is good to give God thanks. He has a purpose. He has a purpose for us all in life. Just trust him. Prayers works. Be blessed. Mark here says, I get it, to give God the glory. We also are in a country with some terrible and expensive health insurance. Yes, but your children, Joy says, are love. Joy Kane, and Joy Kane is in England. So she stayed up late to participate, and she's happy that she's hearing this story. Sandra says, I had a friend and had a 1 pound baby boy who survived with hearing loss, but he's doing fabulous. But she passed away at the age of 30 from a heart defect and caused her to go into a premature labor. Her son was about 2 when she passed away. His dad is amazing because he raised him and has done a wonderful job. Paulette Chambers says, awesome testimony. To God be the glory.
Amen.
Sorry to interrupt, but as you tell us, you say that they are just regular kids, just a little bit smaller than everybody else, but that's okay. When they get to Leo's age, they'll be happy for that because they're still going to be looking younger than everybody else. But tell me, in terms of your celebration, because I mean, I'll be keeping a party for 8 days or something like that. What is that going to look like?
You know, when there was well, there are a number of things that have happened in the last 8 years. There are a couple of things that have been asked that I haven't touched on that all led into the celebration. But when the kids were born, when they were okay, I felt like I'd been holding my breath for 2 years, and we sat up and looked at each other and we're like, okay, you still want to do this? You go north and I'll go south. How about that? But we realized at that point, and this is something that has been a growing point for me, is they tell you in your marriage that your children should not be your priority. You should always take care of your partner. Take care of your partner. And if you are strong and your partner is strong, the kids will be okay. And it's just like being on an airplane. They tell you if something happens, put on your oxygen mask first before you try to help somebody. Yeah, but it's really counterintuitive to take care of your partner first.
Yes.
And so for 2 years, my focus was, I have to keep the babies alive. I have to keep the babies alive. I have to measure out all of their medication and keep them on schedule and keep all of their appointments. And after 2 years, I was looking at my partner going, oh, wait, yeah, you're still here. You're going through this with me, aren't you? But we were very disconnected from each other by that time because we had just gone into survival mode, you know, do what we can to keep everything afloat. And one of those things was finances. As I said, for the twins, it was $8,000 per day per baby to keep them in the NICU. They were really cute. They put it on the bill. They put it on the bill as the nursery. It was $8,000 a day to have them in the nursery.
It was $16,000 because it's $8,000 each.
Yes, $16,000 per day for 3 months, plus all of their medical procedures, all of their
wow.
Yes.
So Mark, you get the answer about the finances. Yes. It never gone good.
Yes, but here, see, let me tell you how God good. Let me tell you how God good. Because we applied for everything. The social worker said, apply for everything because it's going to be a lot. And everything we applied for, they told us no, because we were a dual income household. And so we were above the margin for everything. And I remember having an interview with DSS, and the lady was looking through all of the paperwork and everything, and she's trying to find some way to help us, because, you know, she's like, you guys just don't qualify. You earn too much. You don't qualify. And when she said that, I broke down crying in front of her. Like, I was all all of my pride went out the window, and I had pictures of them in their isolates with all of the wires and everything. And I slammed them down on the counter and I shoved them to her. And I said, look at them. Somebody has to help them. I said, $16,000 a day will bankrupt anybody. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how much you earn, that we bankrupt anybody. Somebody have to help them. Who is going to help them when we run out of money? Somebody have to help them. And I was just bawling. And she said, excuse me a minute. And she got up and she left for a few minutes and then she came back. And she got approval to use a loophole in the way that the law is written. Because the twins had never set foot outside of the hospital, they could make the case that they were not part of our household.
Exactly.
meaning they did not have anybody taking financial responsibility for them because they were not officially part of our household yet. So she said we can only do that while they're in hospital.
We only have 6 minutes to go. We have only 6 minutes to go. So,
geez, I'm sorry, Liam.
Just make a note.
No, but I think let me just read the rest of the thing. Paul, it says, awesome testimony. To God be the glory. Ma says it doesn't have to be all on the parents. He says our healthcare system is a mess. Sandy says, well, we did that. But let me tell you, Tanisha, I am happy that you shared as much as you have shared of your story. And I'm happy that you share it in an audience where we have men, where we have fathers and we have brothers and uncles, so they can understand some of the issues of being a parent from a mother's perspective. They can understand the challenges, the emotional issues that we go through. And I'm really happy that we're able to celebrate the fact that not one, but both children are doing so well, and that you are looking totally fabulous.
Thank you.
So we have to have you back on to share with us. Tell us a little bit about the book. Where can we find your book and the name of the book?
The book is Underqualified and Overwhelmed, and it's available on Amazon. And there's more information on my website because which is Tanisha
Underqualified and
Overwhelmed. Yes,
we can identify with them there. Underqualified and Overwhelmed. It's on Amazon. Tanisha Kerr, and she shares her story of delivering twin at 5 months. Was it, Leo?
Yes, 6 yes.
At 6 months. 6 months.
They were born at 6 months.
At 6 months. 1.5 pounds each is a fabulous story. It's a fabulous Jamaican story for us to share, to prepare our children that there is really no hurdle once you make up your mind about sticking through something and having God.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that because I don't want to be a woman.
Well, it's all right.
Yeah, let me tell you.
But you can help that woman in your life to go through.
Let me tell you.
That's a different thing. Yes.
Yeah, we have like 4 minutes left, but let me share this with you quickly. What's happened over the last 6 years since my marriage ended? Because at the time that we separated, I wasn't working because I had left my job to take care of the twins, so I moved south, and I was catching on my friend sofa with my 2 babies, and so I was unemployed. And the only job that I could get after I got a stack of rejection letters like this, I got a job as a receptionist for the Chamber of Commerce. And the people said, there's no way this lady with her 2 master's degree coming in here to answer nobody's phone. But you know what? When you're a mother and this is the only option, then we have to make it work.
You're here.
I went in, square my shoulders, hold my head up high, and decide, well, this is it. And I went in and I worked there for 4 years, moving up the ranks until after 4 years, I became the first woman of color and the youngest person to be named president of my Chamber of Commerce. I became president and CEO for my Chamber of Commerce. And so when I remember when they called me and told me that it was a unanimous vote from the board to appoint me, and I sat down and I'm like, I remember when I was standing in the line to get groceries at the food bank with the drug dealers and the prostitutes, with the drug addicts and the
Addicts.
prostitutes.
Yes.
Yes. And now I am president and CEO for a whole chamber of commerce with my two babies. And so there's a song by Sinach that says, I know who I am. I know who God says I am and what he says I am. And when I share this story, I tell people my story is different from yours, but there's one thing that is the same. Whatever circumstance you're going through is not the end. This is just a step in your story. It's just another step.
Wow. Colin Madden says we have to ask Tanisha to come back for part 2. Paulette says there is always a loophole in everything.
Yes.
With you. Thanks for sharing your story. Joni says, Tanisha, what is the title of the book? Underqualified and Overwhelmed. Joni says, Standing Ovation. Awesome story. Jude Brown says, Mark A says, thank you for your story. I appreciate it. Put God first in our life. It's important.
It's 11:59 and we have to wrap the show up. But we're so happy and thankful that Tanisha decided to join us this morning. Thank you so much, my lady.
Pleasure.
And I'm sure that there's going to be another time when you're going to tell us about
Tanisha, you promised to come back?
Yes, man.
Yeah.
All right, fabulous.
Yeah, she's going to have to tell us about the job at the
Yes, I want to hear about that. Probably Tuesday night you could come and just continue the story. We can talk about the kids, the 6-year gap and all of that.
All of that stuff. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Powerful and inspiring. Joaquin says prayers, heartbeat, love prayers. And Norma Dixon says amen. Paulette Seymour Morrison says awesome story. God can.
Amen.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You have a wonderful Saturday and the rest of the week, and we'll talk. See you Tuesday night again. Same place.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Song, What Faith Can Do, my mantra. Congratulations to you and happy birthday to the twins. Juice Brown says on behalf of us all. Maki,